The corner of Annie's lips lifted for a moment. You mean apart from her wrist and feeling embarrassed for slipping in the first place? Rose chuckled. You do feel a fool when that happens. Annie nodded. Well, thankfully she's fine. I'm surprised you're buying the bread, though, instead of making it yourself. Annie chuckled. That's easy. I'm not very good at making it. I can tell you who was good at baking. Joyce. Ma was always going on about how wonderful her cakes and bread were. She paused. Do you know what she's doing now? Hopefully she's working in some fancy restaurant somewhere, or maybe she's a suffragette, fighting for us to get the vote. She might be, but don't say that in front of your pa, because he definitely won't let you go to London if he thinks that's the case. No, you're right, and my grandfather is very stuck in his ways too. Rose frowned. We do exchange letters. Not as often as we should, but we try to write once a month or so. But she never mentions her baking. She smiled. Or being a suffragette. Annie's face lit up as she turned to face Rose. Perhaps we should go and visit her. That would give me a chance to see all the London theatres. She clapped her hands together before reaching out and clasping Rose's slender arm under her old woolen coat, which had been previously worn by her older sister. The excitement bursting from her disappeared as quickly as it had come. Mind you, it'll be hard to find the time to go to London because I'm needed at home. Annie paused. Also, it's been ages since I've written to her. I haven't been a very good friend, have I? No, you haven't, and you should write to her. After all, we've all been friends for years. Annie looked ashamed for a moment. You're right. I'll write to her as soon as I get home. Rose frowned. Only write because you want to, rather than because you want something from her. She's been very lonely since her aunt's been gone. Annie stared at her friend open-mouthed for a moment. Rose, you must have a very low opinion of me, but I'm not that bad. Rose chuckled at the hurt look on Annie's face. I know you're not, but in her letters, she sometimes comes across as feeling quite sad. They both walked on in silence. A couple of children laughed as they raced past them. A black dog ran alongside, giving the odd bark of encouragement to them both. The grocer was adding cabbages and spring greens on the stand outside his shop, stopping only to wave at a woman walking by. Morning, Mr. Butterworth. Are you going to church on Sunday? As always, Mrs. Levington, I wouldn't miss it. I've a few errands to run, but then I'll be back to buy my veg, so make sure you save me a cabbage. Mrs. Levington chuckled and waved as she paced down the road. The girls walked past Mr. Butterworth, standing in the doorway of his shop. They didn't stop to examine the baskets of potatoes caked in dirt, or the other vegetables and fruit that were sitting outside the shop alongside the many potted plants that were for sale. Don't you stop to say good morning then, girls? I thought your parents dragged you up better than that. Annie stopped and looked round at the portly, balding man that was grinning at them. She took a breath and spoke in her best voice. Sorry, Mr. Butterworth. We were deep in thought. Good morning to you. Mr. Butterworth raised his eyebrows. That can only mean trouble. Annie forced a smile to her lips. Now, that's just plain mean, Mr. Butterworth. I have never been in trouble, and my ma and pa won't thank you for saying such things. My apologies, Annie. Mr. Butterworth tipped his head at her. But you will be tarnished with the same brush if you're friends with the Spencer family. Ain't that right, Rose? Rose tried to hold back the smile that crept across her face, but failed. My, Mr. Butterworth, there's you claiming to be godly, and yet there's no forgiveness in you. Yet it tells you in the Bible the great Lord, our Father, will forgive our sins, and here you are, holding on to them as tight as ever. There'll be no place in heaven. Don't you quote the Bible at me, young lady. You need to learn one of the commandments yourself. Thou shalt not steal. Rose couldn't hold in the giggle that rose inside her. Mr. Butterworth, you shock me. I have never stolen anything in my life. You need to pray for forgiveness. Mr. Butterworth's face turned crimson as his rage rose to the surface. Annie pulled at Rose's arm. Well, we have to go, Mr. Butterworth. My ma will wonder where I've got to. I'll tell them you said hello. She